Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Rosie here, and today we're diving into some really interesting news that's been shaking things up in the market over the past day or so. Grab your coffee or tea and let's get into it. So, starting with some major highlights from yesterday and this morning, Trump's big press conference. Okay, so Trump had this press conference yesterday and it was packed with bold statements. He's been talking about a lot of things, from claiming 365 accomplishments since returning to the White House to comparing himself to Warren Buffett. Yep, through his wife, of course. He also mentioned considering reviving the Panama Canal and said the US will not have a trade deficit next year. And get this, he's also talking about giving Machado a role in Venezuelan affairs. There's a lot to unpack here, but the bottom line, he's making waves. US-EU trade talks. Big news from the EU Parliament. They've actually paused the approval process for the US-EU trade deal. A bit of uncertainty there for traders, and we all know how that can affect market sentiment. Congo's strategic victory. Over in Africa, the government forces in the Democratic Republic of Congo just reclaimed the strategically important town of Uvila. That's a game changer for the region. Davos talks between US and Russia. Moving to Switzerland, the special envoys from the US and Russia met in Davos for some serious peace talks. They spent about 2 hours discussing potential peace plans, which could shift geopolitical tensions moving forward. Poland's gold rush. Over in Poland, the central bank just approved a plan to buy 150 tons of gold. That's right, you heard it, 150 tons. This will bring their reserves to 700 tons, and they're looking to hedge against any future instability. US Supreme Court and tariffs. Now, this is a big one. The US Supreme Court hasn't yet decided on the challenge to Trump's global tariffs, but the verdict is expected within the next month. For any of you watching the trade war closely, this could be a critical decision. Market update. The US stock market took a hit yesterday, closing down by more than 2%. Gold and silver, though, they're soaring to new heights, hitting record prices. Gold's now at $4,766, and silver's up to $95.86. Meanwhile, US Treasury yields on the 10-year bond went up by 7 basis points, so keep an eye on that. France's budget move. Over in France, Prime Minister Le Cornu just used his constitutional power to push through part of the 2026 budget without a vote in the National Assembly. Yeah, that's pretty high-stakes politics happening right now. ADP jobs report. On the labor front, ADP reported that, in the 4 weeks leading up to December 27th, private employers added an average of 8,000 jobs per week. So, the job market is still holding strong, which is great news for the economy. Greenland drama. Oh, and here's something that's been getting a lot of attention. The whole Greenland situation is heating up again. Canada's military just ran drills simulating a US invasion, and Trump's making headlines for altering maps to show Greenland as part of the US. It's a lot, but it's also impacting the dollar and the markets. Lastly, gold's price surge. As we all know, geopolitical tensions have been running high. With Russia seeing a massive $216 billion in gold reserves, it's fueling the rise in gold prices, reaching over $4,700 an ounce. This means Russia's financial position has been somewhat cushioned by its gold holdings, even though their access to Western markets is limited. Meanwhile, gold continues to be a top safe haven asset in times of uncertainty, and it's making all the right moves right now. With all this going on, we're seeing the US dollar weakening, market volatility rising, and gold prices pushing towards new highs. There's a lot happening, folks, and it's keeping traders on their toes. So, what's next? We're watching for any updates from Davos and any further developments in these geopolitical hotspots. Gold is definitely a major player right now, so for any of you looking for safe haven assets, this could be something to keep an eye on. Alright, that's all for today's market update. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop any thoughts you have in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're all feeling about these shifts in the market. Till next time, stay informed, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.